Hello guys, welcome back to the Brutal Investor channel. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. In this episode, we're going to talk about a project or a platform that, in my opinion, has an incredibly high potential in the future, especially when it comes to a project that consistently provides good quality interest rates for crypto projects, for crypto lending and borrowing, right? And that project is called the Celsius network or the CEL token, right? Again, as always guys, I highly recommend you guys to do your own research on any of the projects that we cover on our channel. And for this project, I recommend you guys to go to their website celsius.network in order to learn more about this project, right? But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the information presented in CoinMarketCap, at the bottom of CoinMarketCap to be specific, that provides information about what this project is, without going into much detail, but you guys definitely need to do your own research before you put your money on this token, right? So, if you are new to crypto, Celsius is a centralized borrowing and lending platform, right? Which provides users with an opportunity to earn income on their crypto, right? So, Celsius is a very easy to use app that basically provides a lot of cryptocurrency options for people to earn interest on, right? So if you take cryptocurrencies back in 2017 or even earlier than that, there were not a lot of cryptocurrency platforms that provide you an opportunity to lend cryptocurrencies, right? In fact, there was literally no projects back in those days, and if you had bought crypto, you basically had to just hodl or just trade and make your money by either waiting for a long period of time during hodling or you trading frequently, which you can basically end up losing a lot more money than gaining a lot more money. And then people started realizing that they could do much more with their crypto because there was institutional interests that was happening late 2017 and early 2018, with a few institutional investors trying to test their waters on crypto. And one of the reasons why Celsius is a very famous project is that it has a lot of cryptocurrencies with options to earn some really good interest rates on a weekly basis, again not on a monthly basis, just like many other platforms, but on a weekly basis, which will help compound your returns extremely well. And Celsius network is one of the most reputed brands created by a 3-time unicorn creator like Alex Mashinsky, who has been performing a lot of AMAs, and he's been on the forefront of leading Celsius to its success, right? So after this background, you kind of may be tempted to like depositing your crypto on Celsius right away in order to earn interest on this, especially if you're new. But the problem is that you need to understand that it is a centralized platform, which means you are not in control of your own keys, which is a big no-no for several people who like decentralization. But if you are looking to put a portion of your portfolio to earn interest on Celsius, then that's a really good option as well, right? So again, Celsius or CEL is an all-in-one banking and financial services platform for cryptocurrency users. Again, it's an all-in-one financial banking. It's basically your own bank on your pocket, right? That's basically what Celsius network is in one platform. So it was launched in June 2018, and it offers rewards for depositing cryptocurrencies along with services such as loans and wallet-style payments. Again, most people associate Celsius with only borrowing and lending, right? But there's also the CEL Pay, which allows you to pay any form of your money in the form of CEL tokens to someone else who has a CEL app in a very permissionless, not in a permissionless, sorry, in a very quick and easy to transact manner, right? So since people don't really talk about that, I just want to touch briefly on that topic as well. But if you see users of the platform receive regular payouts and interest on their holdings, Celsius's native CEL token performs a variety of internal functions, including boosting user payouts if used on a payment currency. So again, if you deposit your crypto, you have two options of earning interest, right? What I'm going to say is not applicable for US customers, because for US customers you can earn in-kind interests, but for people who are present in other jurisdictions, you can either earn in kind with a little bit of a lower interest rate, but you can also choose to earn their own native CEL token as as a payment, as a interest, in the form of an interest, by choosing to earn CEL tokens, right? And by earning CEL tokens, you gain a little bit higher interest rate. So that's something that can help you, earn some passive CEL tokens without even doing anything, right? So again, that's another option. And also, if you see, by holding CEL tokens, you can basically boost your payouts. And also, if you're borrowing money from CEL tokens, by repaying the loan in CEL tokens, you are basically paying a very low interest rate, right? So again, it has so much potential, and I think the future of financial ecosystem is going to be revolved around two cryptocurrency based means of earning income, right? This is going to be centralized platforms such as Celsius and BlockFi and all those platforms, and decentralized finance, which is DeFi. Although DeFi hasn't really matured yet fully, I know it's a full ecosystem, but at the same time, you still have so much risks in DeFi that literally prevents you from depositing any meaningful amount of crypto for any meaningful period of time. Because if you see, a DeFi platform comes in today and goes out tomorrow, it either rug pulls, scams, hacked, flash attacks, so many things, right? So for the time being, I think centralized platforms have an upper edge, and decentralized platforms such as Celsius network is basically paving the way for a completely different future that is really exciting, right? So again, who are the founders of Celsius? Celsius originally came into being as a product of creators Alex Mashinsky and Daniel Leon in 2017. So again, Alex Mashinsky is a very famous personality in the crypto space, and he's the founder and creator of Celsius network, and he's mostly popular because of Celsius itself. Mashinsky has a long-running history in the internet development sphere, having worked on the voice over internet protocol, or voice over IP, in the 1990s and other technologies since. Celsius is far from Mashinsky's first corporate venture, with 7 startups and 35 patents to his name, the project's official website states. Co-founder and COO Daniel Leon, meanwhile, has experience focusing on growing early-stage startups. His previous roles include being CEO of Atlas Labs, a social recommendation and discovery app which used real-time user referrals. Celsius now has a large team of core employees, technical developers, and advisors with experience in various fields. Again, here they're basically talking about Alex Mashinsky's experience, as well as the co-founder and COO Daniel Leon's experience as well. So again, there's really nothing much to gain from this, but apart from the fact that Alex Mashinsky has had successful projects in the past, where he's worked on voice over IP in 1990s, and he has 35 patents to his name and 7 startups, again based on what is mentioned on their official website itself. You can verify this from other independent sources. Daniel Leon has also had experience being a CEO of Atlas Labs, which basically provides a social recommendation and discovery app which used real-time user referrals. So again, that's basically how their background came about, and they have a large team of individuals, employees, technical developers, and advisors who are very much experienced in the space, right? So again, going to the meat and gravy, which is basically what makes Celsius unique. So why would you use CEL tokens? So again, you basically have two options. You can either use Celsius platform without using the CEL token itself. You can completely avoid CEL tokens if you want to, or you can use the CEL platform, and also own a little bit of CEL tokens, right? But if the first option is providing you a better convenience, because you just want the platform, you don't want the token itself, why would anybody want to invest in a token that's a part of a centralized borrowing lending platform, right? Celsius aims to outperform banks at their own game by offering financial services on the kind of terms which traditional financial institutions no longer offer. So again, this is basically talking about the platform itself. If you want to use Celsius, you have a lot of incentives to use Celsius, because on Celsius you are basically being your own bank. You're challenging the current financial ecosystem, which is literally offering you less than 0.1% interest rate if you use any traditional savings account anywhere in the world. Again, not probably everywhere in the world, but many countries in the world, especially the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand, I think you will definitely get extremely low interest rates when you deposit money in your savings account. Instead, you could basically buy a stable coin, again not financial advice, and deposit it into a Celsius network and earn close to like 12 to 13% interest rate every single year, which is again compounded on a weekly basis because your payout was given on a weekly basis, right? So they're basically trying to beat the game that big banks are playing and trying to make them completely obsolete, which is a great thing. These include much higher rates of returns on savings and deposits, much easier and fairer loan requirements, and automated rewards computed for each user algorithmically. Penalties and bank style fees are also waived. So again, here they're also talking about how Celsius platform itself is enticing users, right? So again, Celsius is enticing users based on its saving and deposit interest rates, right? You also get a much fairer loan requirement, because if you go to a bank, you basically have to literally stand in the queue, fill tons of paperwork, and you still get rejected for loans, right? But on Celsius, if you hold some crypto, you can deposit your crypto and then borrow against your crypto, again get a tax-free loan, and basically make sure that you don't cross the liquidation limit, and you should be fine, right? So again, that's some of the major advantages, and you also have a lot of penalties and bank style fees that's also waived by using Celsius. The platform also functions as a wallet via its CEL Pay feature and hosts its own CEL token, which users can leverage to increase payout value, among other things. Again, so one of the other functionalities of the Celsius platform itself is basically that apart from just borrowing and lending, as we discussed, you can also use Celsius network for payment solutions as well, because if you have CEL tokens, you can pay someone through your CEL Pay feature, which will help you to make quick payments with very low fees and pretty much instantly, right? So that's basically something that many people are starting to use. As a for-profit company, Celsius takes a cut of profit margins on interest payments, still returning 80% to the users themselves. The company also lends to institutional entities such as hedge funds. Again, when you take the source of money, right? So when you put your tokens into Celsius network, they take your money and then they lend it out to hedge funds, thereby making money, right? Thereby making money on your cryptocurrencies. 80% of that goes to the users, whereas 20% goes to the company itself for maintenance purposes, and it's as a for-profit company. They basically have to survive, and they only rely on 20% of the users' income, but the 80% is basically given out to the people itself, right? Payments are ensured because loans are asset-backed, and any borrower must supply more than 100% of what they borrow in the destination currencies. Again, if you basically take out loan, you basically have to make sure that you have crypto asset. It's similar to make a DAO, similar to like Aave, right? You deposit a cryptocurrency, you borrow a specific percent of the cryptocurrency in stable coins that you can basically use, right? You need to supply more than 100% of what they borrow. So again, if you want to get back your crypto, you need to pay back the loan along with an interest rate and then get back your cryptocurrency, right? And that's pretty much it. Again, when it comes to the CEL token itself, it's the native token. It can be used for obviously getting higher interest rates when you lend and lower interest rates when you borrow. It's a token that's run on the Ethereum blockchain. It's a token that's also used for price speculation. And when you have CEL tokens, you can also earn interest on your CEL tokens by depositing them on the Celsius network app itself, right? So again, pretty unique, kind of token that helps bridge the distance between centralized finance and decentralized finance, right? That's basically how I see it. How many CEL tokens are in circulation? We'll cover that topic pretty shortly. How is Celsius network secured? So this is a very important question because Celsius being a centralized platform, how is it secured? Celsius uses a modified proof of stake algorithm for its token, while broader security procedures were outlined in the dedicated presentation in June 2020, still available on the company's website. So again, they use a modified, kind of like consensus mechanism called proof of stake, modified proof of stake consensus mechanism, which is basically used to secure the platform, and they also leverage on the Ethereum blockchain security as well because it is a ERC20 token. And the presentation given on 2020 June basically is available on the website for you guys to do some deep dive onto their security procedures, right? As with any client-oriented wallet, the risk of theft from attacks such as SIM swapping is present if users themselves do not have adequate protection in place, such as two-factor authentication. So again, it's very interesting that this information is presented here because it is very true that people who hold large volumes of crypto on their phone, which is not a secure place to store because you're basically connected to the internet most of the time, and you need to be very careful. And apart from that, when you hold large amounts of cryptocurrencies on a platform like Celsius Network, because it's a centralized platform, they could technically, since they hold the private key, they technically own the crypto, so they could potentially lock you out, right? But Celsius Network is a very reputed platform, and it doesn't have that risk because of its strong foundation and how long it's been existing, right? And also they have huge plans to grow. I don't think it's a big risk, but at the same time, I wouldn't recommend you to put a lot of crypto, maybe a little bit, maybe a percentage of the portfolio in order to test out the system. And even if you're happy with the system, I wouldn't really recommend putting a lot of money, right? Maybe put a money that you're comfortable putting with an expectation that if it gets hacked, you didn't really worry about it, right? But at the same time, SIM swapping attacks are very common, so please bear that in mind. Be extremely cautious when it comes to your mobile devices as well as laptops or anything like that that you use for cryptocurrencies. They could be hacked, stolen. SIM swap attacks can be done, and if you don't have adequate two-factor authentication protection enabled on Celsius, you are at a very high risk of losing your password, username, keys, whatever, right? You'll basically lose a lot of your cryptocurrency. So be very careful with that. Apart from that, I think Celsius is a wonderful project. I'm going to basically go to their website to show you guys how it looks. So again, you can clearly see that they have a very interesting website. They also have a web app that is also available. So let me go back, and again, if you see here, you can clearly see that you can borrow at 1% APR. So again, if you want to borrow, you obviously have to deposit a crypto collateral and then borrow with a very low APR of 1%. I don't think you can get that anywhere in a regular bank. Earn and borrow with Celsius. So if you use my referral link in the description, you can basically get $50 in Bitcoin. If you deposit, I believe, $100, or I think it's I don't know the exact numbers, but you can definitely get a specific amount of crypto. If you deposit a specific amount of crypto, you can get $50 in Bitcoin if you hold that crypto for a month within Celsius, right? So if you want to support this channel, that's another way to do that. Please go ahead and click on the link in the description. But if you see, this is their web app. This is kind of like how the web app looks like. You basically have a total yield earned, your APY, along with the total assets that you may have, and it will show you a graph. Pretty simple user interface. They have $15.6 billion plus in assets that's being managed, as well as 846,000 more plus Celsius users. More than $337 million in yield paid out in the last 12 months, and about $109,000 or more when it comes to like a community BTC. So 109,000 BTC, not dollars. So that's I just want to make a correction on that. So again, pretty huge numbers. They have a very strong community who's backing them up. They registered in the US, which is very interesting because not a lot of projects get easy approval in the US because of the strict regulatory requirements. 24/7 customer service. Again, if you have any questions or any issues, they'll obviously be accessible, but I personally haven't had any issues with Celsius. But if you do, 24/7 service. Security ISO 27001 certified. So again, this is a very interesting information that's overlooked often. If you are depositing your cryptocurrencies on any centralized platform, you want to make sure that the security is the top notch, right? They have ISO 27001 certification, which means they are extremely secure, which is an extremely good thing to know. So people who are trying to like brush off Celsius because of lack of security, this basically answers their question, right? Global reach of over 150 plus countries, which is amazing as well. They pretty much have covered most of the countries. In fact, they are expanding to more and more countries. And if there's a country that doesn't really have Celsius networks, reach, then you can definitely like expect it to be coming soon, right? You can earn up to 17% APY per week. And if you want to start earning, please create an account. You can see a notification every week that will tell you that you have earned so on and so forth amounts and interest rates paid out to you automatically with no action required from your end. You have US rates and international rates. I'll quickly cover the US rates first. So it gives you a cool calculator on if you deposit $50,000 worth of Bitcoin for 5 years, you'll probably earn $9,586 in passive income, not including the capital appreciation of Bitcoin itself, which is amazing. And you get a really good interest rate of about 3.51% APY. But if you see 6.20 on the first Bitcoin that you deposit and 3.51% if you deposit more Bitcoins, right? So you have restrictions when it comes to that. But if you take the international rates, you basically have the flexibility of getting paid in CEL tokens. So the same amount, $50,000 worth of Bitcoin for 5 years, if you don't earn with CEL, in the form of CEL tokens, you get an APY of 6.2% in the first Bitcoin and 3.51% after, and you earn $9,586 at the end of 5 years. But if you click earn in CEL, you get $12,314, which is an incredible feature, and you get an APY, stable APY of 4.40%. So again, but the thing is, you won't earn it in Bitcoin, you'll earn it in Celsius tokens itself, right? So that's basically the catch here. And I have a very strong feeling that Celsius token is going to go up like multiple folds. It's going to explode. Again, I think Celsius is one of the many platforms that will be the future of centralized finance. But obviously decentralized finance is going to be the future, but there will be platforms like Celsius that will continue to exist, and I think it's going to go ballistic, right? So here are some of the main steps. You can get Celsius by downloading iOS or Android version. You can even use their web app. Verify yourself, you need to do a KYC, transfer your crypto, and get paid every Monday. Pretty simple, right? You can also borrow at 1% APR, as I mentioned. You can basically apply for a loan approval, and it's pretty quick, extremely easy and convenient. You can see some of the calculations for the borrowing, which I'm not really going to cover, but you guys can pretty much understand the same. It's basically the same process. You'll basically see when your loan term is going to be, and you can do a calculation how much you'll be owing. Pretty interesting website nonetheless. If you see borrow in your best interest, you don't have to worry about credit score or anything like that. The numbers don't lie. You have 6.2% interest rates on 0.25 BTC, and in BlockFi, their prime competitor, they only host about 4.0% APR, which is substantially lower. So obviously you can get more with 0.25 BTC from Celsius than from BlockFi. So if you have 1 BTC, you get 1.5% from BlockFi, but 6.2% from Celsius. Rates at 5 BTC, you get 0.25% on BlockFi and 3.51% on Celsius. So Celsius pretty much beats BlockFi in every single parameter. No holding fees, no gas fees, no nothing, right? It's all within the convenience of your phone. You have other information here, which again talks about the platform itself. You can learn more about the general, questions for FAQs, security related questions, and sign up questions, all answered for you on the website. You can also sign up for the newsletter and get updates on a regular basis, right? A pretty simple, elegant platform that is going to disrupt the future of banking, financing, lending, borrowing in a centralized platform, right? Going back to the coin market cap page for CEL token, it's currently ranked 60th by market cap on coin market cap with the price point of $5.96 at the time I'm making this video. And it recently had a 3.87% decrease in price point in the past 24 hours, right? If you take the market cap, the token has $1.4 billion in market cap. So again, you may think that that's a huge number, but in reality, if you take Celsius Network, which is an app with its own kind of token on your phone that allows you to do so much that you literally can't do in banks, right? And the amount of scrutiny that you have in banks is mind-blowingly complex. And banks are basically trillions and trillions of dollars industry, and Celsius is basically going after those banks. Obviously, it's a centralized platform, but it is doing so much more for its people rather than all the banks have ever thought about doing for the people, right? So when it comes to what Celsius aims to do by being such a small platform, a mobile app with its own token, and what it's trying to do when it comes to disrupting the financial ecosystem, I think this market cap is extremely undervalued. That's my personal opinion. Again, that's basically how I see things. I see the bigger picture. I see the fundamental problems that Celsius is trying to solve. That's what I see for every project. And I compare what industry it's trying to disrupt with its market cap, right? $1.4 billion is a drop in the bucket compared to trillions and trillions of dollars locked in banks and other financial institutions. That's literally collecting dust. In many banks around the world, you have negative interest rates, which means you basically have to pay the bank to hold your money. And after paying the bank for holding your money, the bank doesn't really do anything with the money. They basically use that. I mean, they don't do anything with the money for you. They basically take the money and make more money for themselves, right? So you're paying the bank for making more money from your hard-earned money, which doesn't earn anything for you, right? That's basically how it is in Japan, I believe, and also several other countries that have negative interest rates. So what that means is basically you are losing a lot of opportunity by using traditional financial ecosystems, but Celsius aims to disrupt that. And therefore, I believe that Celsius is a potential multi-billion-dollar industry. It's a platform that can disrupt multiple different technologies. It can disrupt multiple different current financial old school ecosystems that will completely be replaced with centralized finance such as Celsius and decentralized finance such as everything DeFi, right? So based on that, I feel like the market cap can definitely explode. And it's only the beginning, right? If you take the max supply, it has a fixed supply. There's only 695 million tokens. Again, more than what I would consider as a proper threshold, which is again 100 million tokens. But at the same time, if you see, Celsius is going to be a key player because people who are holding CEL tokens on their wallet will get a better interest rate. They can choose to get paid more in CEL tokens, which will make them hodl CEL tokens. And people who are borrowing money, if they hold CEL tokens, they can pay their loan in CEL tokens and pay an even more lower interest rate. So I would feel that the price potential for CEL token is extremely high. It's a token that has a balance between the amount it's being staked or used versus the amount it's being dumped. I think this balance is pretty steady, which means that the tokens that are going to be injected into the market are not going to harm the market significantly. But again, that's just my opinion. And currently there's 238 million tokens in circulation, which is about 34% of the total supply, right? Which is not bad, but again, it's still a project that is not really fully recognized. People only use it for this lending aspect. Not a lot of people use self-pay. Not a lot of people use borrowing for that matter, right? So I feel like this is still in the early stages, and people who use Celsius network for not only earning interest but also for accumulating CEL tokens, they're going to be doing extremely well in the next 3 to 5 years, right? So going to the market section for Celsius network, you can clearly see that this token has existed since October 2018. At least the price information is available since October 2018. And this token was initially trading at 5 cents per token. You could have bought it at a bargain at the time, and it was pretty much flat for very long time until September last year, when the token price went from 38 cents all the way to an all-time highs of over $6, $6.48 to be specific, January 2021, before kind of being crashing down. Again, not crashing down, but kind of having a steep decline and retesting the price point of $4.04 before going back up and making its actual all-time highs of about $8, $8 and I believe 1 or 2 cents. Mid of early June, late May, right, before crashing back down because of the Bitcoin dump, which led the price to be at $5.37, and now it's kind of like going back downwards. It seems like the token has been going downwards, and it's a good buy opportunity, right? If you see, you are getting it at a discount, although the discount is not significant from its all-time highs. I think this is a good token with very strong fundamentals and a technology that can definitely disrupt centralized current traditional financial ecosystems, right? So if you take the Bitcoin compared to the other hand, you can clearly see that the Bitcoin price is 766 satoshis per token last October 2018, and it was moving pretty much sideways till the 12th of June 2020, when the token price went from 264 satoshis to an all-time highs of about 1980 satoshis, before crashing back down severely for a price point of about 1151 satoshis, and then making its proper all-time highs of over 2000 satoshis. To be specific, it's 2218 satoshis June 6th of 2021, and then it's been quite volatile. When the Bitcoin comparative, you can clearly see that the token is not really far away from its all-time high, so it kind of hold off on the Bitcoin purchase, because if you see, there is lots of opportunities when the token price will come down in the Bitcoin comparative, especially making a volatile wick like this, which will kind of go down and then kind of like retest the maybe the 1500 satoshis again, and that will be a good price to like dollar cost average in, right? But if you take the dollar comparative, I think this token can go below the $5.70, $5.60 range, which is also a good time to dollar cost average in. But at the same time, if you hold too long, this token will probably go up and down and up and down, probably even go upwards, right, as Bitcoin starts pumping. So for dollar comparative, I would say it's a good dollar cost averaging opportunity. But for Bitcoin comparative, you can probably wait and maybe wait till it retests the 1500 satoshis mark, and then that will be a good entry point, right? Again, not financial advice, it's just my opinion. If you take the markets, it's pretty much available on all decentralized exchanges such as Uniswap. I think it's also available on Bancor, 1inch. I think it's also available on SushiSwap, but I could be wrong. But it's available on many of these decentralized exchanges. But it's not available on Binance. It's not available on Coinbase, which is totally fine because it is available on FTX. It's available on Liquid. It's available on Bitfinex and Gate.io. So many of these exchanges are not really. If you see, FTX is a tier 1 exchange. Liquid, Bitfinex, and all these are tier 2 and tier 3 exchanges. So not a lot of centralized exchanges listing Celsius network, right? Which is where I feel like the opportunity comes in, because I do believe that at some point in the future, some of these exchanges like maybe Binance or Coinbase could potentially list Celsius network, and when that happens, I think the price will immediately start spiking up. And I think that this token has a potential to be listed not only on big centralized exchanges but also on decentralized exchanges on Polygon as well, because it is a ERC20 token which can be bridged to Polygon, right? So what's my final verdict on this token? I think this project is amazing. I've used it for a very long time. I've earned a decent bit of interest. I don't really put a lot of cryptocurrencies there, but when I put some cryptocurrencies, I'm really safe from any form of issues. I have free withdrawals for any of the cryptocurrencies, which you guys also have as well if you use this app. And you have extreme high security. Alex Mashinsky is doing an amazing job. His team is doing an amazing job. I think this project is going to definitely disrupt a lot of banking systems that we currently know and love, but it's going to definitely make it more efficient and give more power to the people. And the token itself has multiple use cases within the platform itself, which is going to make it more valuable, right, in the future. Again, remember guys, you guys are not rental investors, you guys are brutal investors, so stay brutal. Thank you very much for watching my video, guys. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more videos. See you in my next video. Bye.